Successful feedlots are managed by caring and experienced animal nutritionists who make sure cattle receive the best possible care on a daily basis. Many people have pets and are careful with their nutrition, but in raising cattle, it's even more vital. I've been working and learning the ranching trade since I was old enough to work and move cows on our ranch. Cattle ranching is our family's livelihood and our culture. Everything we do centers around the health and well-being of our cattle. Raising cattle in feedlots is more effective than raising cattle in pastures. Feedlots are one of the most common ways to raise cattle in the United States. Feedlots are better for cattle on a year-round basis, saves the farmer from buying lots of land, and is cheaper than pasture beef, and the feedlot cattle have better gains, so it's the most effective way to raise beef. In the past, cattle raised in feedlots have shown better gains on a year-round basis compared to pasture cattle. In late summer, due to reduced precipitation that most states suffer during these months, grasses that a cow depend on die off. In the hot, dry summer months, do not kill the grasses, the cows usually do. The first 2 weeks a herd is turned onto the pasture. They trample it down to make trails from one end of the pasture to the other end. By late summer, the pasture will be environmentally unstable due to kill-off. The owners will have to put the herd into another pasture to keep the cows from starving. In the winter months, feedlots are cared for by hired hands that clean out the manure from the pens. Pens are then bedded with straw and beaten stubble to keep the cattle warm and dry during the winter. Cattle are then fed corn to maintain energy and keep them gaining weight. Due to little bedding in pasture, cows waste their feed by laying on it to keep them warm. In addition to ease of maintenance, feedlots save the farmer from buying lots of land, and the area needed to accommodate cattle in feedlots rather than pastures is significantly different. According to the Rangeland Ecology and Management, a single cow can take up to an estimated 2.5 to 35 acres of land. The cattle business affects the community and the farmers in many positive ways. Humans use cattle not only for their meat, but also for the household essentials. If a 1,000-pound steer is sold, that steer promotes $96 that goes to local health and clothing services. This is included leather goods, fertilizer, and animal beef or feed byproducts. For example, when a consumer goes out to buy beef at a supermarket, they should be aware of being overcharged. Pasture beef can cost around $7 per pound. That is almost double that of feedlot-raised beef. With 70 pounds of beef being consumed per person each year, the consumer may have to find ways to ration it out to save money. Feedlot cattle are leaner than pasture cattle beef because they are fed with more grains than pasture beef. More people prefer feedlot over pasture beef. With the better technology, scientists are coming up with new ways to get cattle better conditioned and more flavorful due to marbling. Over the past years, many tests have been done to know the best way to come up with these yield grades. According to the Journal of Animal Science, early feedlot placement accelerates finishing and produces young, higher marbled beef with lower carcass weights. Sometimes you keep their cattle safe from predators. The owner must chase or kill away predators if they are threatening the cattle herd. These predators find their way to urban areas to find shelter for themselves. Other animals are rounded up and relocated if they are competing for grass in public lands. Feedlot cows are when testing bulls for carcass development, feedlot bulls score higher than pasture bulls. The bulls with higher gains due to feedlot management are feeding a high megacal diet to have these bulls on a stress-free environment. We use contents on the bull in this bag for our rations. They always have access to a water source for each animal that has at least 1 foot, and they also have 1 foot of bunk space. When the owner sells their cows at an auction barn, the feedlot cattle bring higher bids than pasture cattle. On the sale day, there are more cattle that are raised in feedlots because raising cattle in a feedlot is a practice that is being more adopted frequently rather than older method than raising cattle in a pasture. For the most part, feedlot cattle are fed every day, if not twice a day. According to the Journal of Animal Science, an average beef cow gains from anywhere from 2.5 to 4 pounds per day. A feedlot program consists of a grain-fed diet with 70 to 90% protein. The minerals that help promote muscle growth. There are about 8,300,000 farms in the U.S. in 2000, but since then there is a decrease in farms at close to 0.8%. In the end of 2015, there will be 7,600,000 farms. With the decrease of farms, there should be an increase in feedlots to maintain higher demand for beef in the United States. Feedlots are the most effective way to raise beef within the U.S., feeding around 12 million cows yearly. The beef market is still rising to new heights, and the cattle are bringing more per head than ever before. In conclusion, raising cattle in feedlots is more effective than raising cattle in pastures. Feedlots are one of the most common ways to raise cattle in the United States and are better for a year-round basis. Saves the farmer from buying lots of land and is cheaper than pasture beef. Feedlots cattle have better gains, so it is a more effective way to raise beef. Feedlot cattle can decrease the need for pasture space. The feedlot cattle business affects the community positively. The feedlot cattle have better gains per pasture that do well because of the high managed mega cow diets. The cattle industry is responding to the benefits of cattle raised in feedlots, such as the reduction of cattle raised in pasture. Ultimately, this development will improve the environment, and the people who consume the beef will be healthier to generations to come. With responsible ranching and cattle maintain good health until the day they come to the sale barn.